Part 27. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 266. The Endless Abyss is a very important plane in the entire multidimensional plane. This is a super-large plane, which is a single continent with a vast area that even exceeds the main material plane. There are also so many strong people here, even the legendary powerhouse is not uncommon. The most powerful demon in the Endless Abyss is called the Demon King, and the smart forecast that once appeared in the heart of the West Lake is a Demon King who dares to call the name of Ms. Silvermoon. For thousands of years, countless abyss demons have tried to reach the main material plane through various sacrifices or spatial leapfrogs. Most of them have failed, but a few have reached their goals. And every high demon will bring a hurricane to the main material plane. The Abyssal Kanjak is the human being who inherited the blood of the abyss, but the gap between the abyss and the devil is indeed different. Therefore, the transformation of Charlotte's blood is more difficult than that of a purely humanized green wolf. Ziwei must first identify which kind of abyss demon from the blood of Charlotte. The only demon knowledge of Ziwei himself comes from the memory of the Nwaman Masters in the Big Adventure Challenge. These memories of Ziwei have already been recorded for Zero, which can be said to be one of the biggest gains in the Big Adventure Challenge. The Dark Elves in the Dark Areas and the Endless Abyss Planes are much more than the main material planes of the two True Glory. Therefore, Ziwei has a deeper understanding of the Endless Abyss and the demons. To understanding. There have been many famous mage who have entered the Endless Abyssal exploration. As a plane with a superpower level, it is full of killing and chaos, but it is also a place where it can lift power very quickly. However, Ziwei did not dare to enter the Endless Abyss exploration, because he was once warned by the smart Forecast. The next day, when Civi and Charlotte walked into the secret lab on the ground floor of the Violet Fort, Charlotte opened his mouth in surprise. She lived in this castle for so many days and was the first time she came to this place. Blood, organs, bones, how it looks like an evil necromancer's lab. This is the great evil of the world that the Lord of the Glorious Church strictly forbids. But because of her trust in Ziwei, she settled her mind. Perhaps only in this way can we study the mystery of the blood. Ziwei arranged a small heating magic array in the blood laboratory, and the whole room quickly became warm. Under the guidance of Ziwei, Charlotte lay on the new operating table, taking off all the clothes on his body, and the almost perfect body was displayed in front of Ziwei. However, at this moment, Ziwei's face was full of dignity and perseverance, and he had no time to carry out the twilight fantasy. The blood of the demon blood is different from the blood of the magical creature. Once it is separated from the human body, it will soon lose its effect and its activity will be greatly reduced. Therefore, it is not possible to conduct blood research by simple blood draw. Zero has placed the nano machine into Charlotte's body and comprehensively monitors and analyzes all physiological data in her body. Ready? Ziwei asked softly. Charlotte didn't know what would happen next, but she nodded bravely, with a look of fearlessness, like a warrior who was heroic. Ziwei smiled a little. Let's relax. Today is just a blood analysis. After that, Charlotte's right wrist was lifted with a towel, and the needle of the blood catheter was inserted into the blood vessel of the scion. The red blood flowed out along the blood tube and entered the blood culture dish. Almost at the same time, Ziwei opened the real magic eye, and Zero began a full scan, simultaneously observing the changes in Charlotte's blood in two distinct ways. Energy is annihilating. Nearly 90% of the energy begins to annihilate at the moment of blood separation, and 12 minutes is lost. Mitochondrial ablation, nuclear nucleation. 88.6% of cells lost their original function. Obviously, this energy of annihilation is the power that should be in the blood itself. Such blood is obviously no longer available for analysis, and Ziwei must solve this problem. In fact, there are some methods, that is, direct living experiments. But in this way, Charlotte is inevitably caught in a dangerous environment. 11 Whining can carry out a blood test for Charlotte after a sufficient number of experiments, and the technology is very mature, but now he has no suitable experimental candidates. Even if a king is afraid, it is impossible to easily get together 10 knights or warlocks who have the blood of the abyss to carry out this dangerous experiment. At this moment, Charlotte had a smile on his slightly pale face due to blood loss, beautiful and picturesque. Zai Wei finally made up his mind and started the live experiment of blood analysis. Since Charlotte's blood does not seem to be fully awakened, the first thought of Zai Wei is to try to proliferate the special mitochondria in the blood and increase the blood energy intensity. Zai Wei made a simple blood circulation outside Charlotte's body, blood proliferation transfusion, and the whole process lasted only 1 minute, minimizing the annihilation of energy. Zero is constantly detecting the life characteristics of Charlotte. With the mitochondrial cells that have multiplied with special energy into the blood of Charlotte, Charlotte has begun to change. The body temperature is rising. The heartbeat starts to accelerate. Charlotte's original white skin instantly became red, and a lot of sweat drenched the whole body and turned into a mermaid that had just emerged from the sea. Charlotte feels that the whole person has become inexplicably excited, as if full of strength and fighting spirit. A punch can break the sky. She couldn't help but sway and roll up on the operating table. It works. Under the influence of these proliferating cells, most of the cells that were originally silent in her body began to divide and proliferate. According to the conclusions of the Green Wolf experiment, the bloodline that Charlotte did not fully activate began the activation process. This is without a doubt a very significant development. To know how many aristocrats have passed down many generations after the grandchildren, the noble blood is not activated, and the family is finally overwhelmed, even completely extinct. Therefore, when aristocrats choose heirs, it is a decisive factor to activate blood or not, which is more important than longevity. If this method can make these nobles activate the blood, then the rich enemy is simply easy. But at this moment, Zai Wei's hands clenched into fists, and he stared at Charlotte's changes. "Come on, you must be past." Perhaps he heard the cry of Zai Wei's heart, and Charlotte's originally closed eyes suddenly opened. However, at this moment, her red eyes suddenly had no pupils and turned into a pure ruby color. The red flame burned again on the surface of her skin, and Charlotte became a fireman instantly. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 267. Under the real eye of insight, the energy in Charlotte's body ushered in an explosive jump. In this simple and violent blood proliferation, most of the blood in the body of Charlotte is still spurting like a sudden waking volcano. Charlotte's painful smashing into a sphere, her two shoulder blades are protruding, as if there are wings to get out of it. The temperature of her body has soared to thousands of degrees, and the dark red magic fire swallows everything, even the alloy operating table is burned by the burnt black. All of this energy erupts from her heart, and the heart is the source of strength for the blood. However, this high temperature is burning everything, burning her brain, muscles, bones, and the magic of the abyss is eroding her soul. It can be said that the blood awakening that Charlotte did not complete at the beginning finally fully demonstrated the power of this blood. Absolutely the blood of the higher devil in the endless abyss. However, at this moment, Zai Wei has no way to stop the process of blood activation. The whole person of Charlotte has been burning everything like the activated nuclear reactor. If this continues, she will die. Zai Wei tried to help Charlotte get rid of the crisis with the attempt of the Silver Moon. However, under the stimulation of Yunyu's power, it further increased the activity of her blood. "Zai Wei, you can try to inject the blood of the immortal bird of the Estanbo family. The members of the Estanbo family have a strong vitality." Zero put forward a very adventurous suggestion. The true blood of the immortal bird is beyond the legendary holy blood. Although the blood of the Estanbo family is not pure, but after this time, Zai Wei and Zero have cultivated and proliferated the blood of Guguri. The hand of Zai Wei now has a bottle of high concentration and high activity. the blood, originally intended to give Charlotte the blood to complete the blood transformation. However, Ziwei did not expect that Charlotte's own abyss demon blood is not a big road, but a very rare high demon blood. In this way, it is difficult to ride the tiger. The two bloods are bound to have great conflicts. It can be said that the crisis of 9 deaths. But if you sit and watch the blood of the demon in Charlotte continue to explode, the part of her body that is human is likely to die, replaced by a thoroughly abyss demon. In this short period of 10 seconds, the two dark red magic wings of the melting fire finally broke through the shackles and stretched out from behind Charlotte. The flames of her whole body are getting brighter and brighter, and the shape of the whole person is very close to the high-level demon of the famous demon in the demon knowledge of Ziwei, Barlow Inflammation. Barlowism is a very powerful abyss demon, and every adult Barrow line has almost a legendary level of combat power. And they have talented superb skills and super soul and flame magic. The melee is smooth and the first strike is fierce and unparalleled. From the blood level, Charlotte's Barrow Devil blood and Natalia's Wind Elves blood and Guguri's Impure Immortal blood on a level, are 9-order legendary blood. However, Charlotte itself has only the strength of the second ring, no matter from the body function or the soul level, cannot bear this wild energy. Inject the blood of the dead bird, Ziwei finally made up his mind. At this moment, he ruled out all the emotional problems and made the most rational judgment. After 0 purification and proliferation, the blood of the dead bird was slowly injected into Charlotte's body, and the boiling flame on her body finally calmed down. However, the calm was so short, and then, the surface of her body blew a flame that was much higher than before. The high-level demon from the endless abyss, the blood of the bellicist and the mysterious and powerful holy magic creature, the blood of the immortal bird began a short knife confrontation, bursting out the horrible energy. Protect her physical function, everything outside is given to you, 11 Wei told the Zero. Zero solemnly nodded. She knew that the heart of Ziwei's heart was also buried with a horrible volcano that could break out at any time. Ziwei stretched out a hand and placed it on Charlotte's forehead. The horrible flame burned on his palm. However, Ziwei has already blessed himself with high-level flame protection, and is not hurt by the flame. Ziwei entered a state of meditation, and the soul sank into the heart of the lake and entered the land of fire. The fiery phoenix is bathing in the burning sea of fire, combing its own dazzling red wings. The soul of Ziwei directly smashed into the phoenix of the fiery fire. At this moment, he and the elements in the heart lake are truly integrated into one. The fiery phoenix issued a crisp and clean scorn, hovering 3 times over the fiery land, but decidedly rushed out and flew into the heart of Charlotte. What Ziwei used was the final taboo spell from the necromancer Thomas, an improved version of soul invasion. The soul crossed. Reduces the consumption of the soul from its own body, and does not aim at invading others' souls. At this critical moment, all external operations are auxiliary, and only the soul-level battle is the key to success. However, what Charlotte is facing is the blood of Beloyan and the blood of the immortal bird far beyond the level of his own soul. What Ziwei wants to do is to join Charlotte's soul-level battle through soul crossing, help Charlotte to integrate the blood, complete the awakening, and survive this great crisis. And the integration of the fiery phoenix is the key to combing the blood of Charlotte. Phoenix spread its wings and crossed the void, directly rushing into the heart of Charlotte. As far as I can see, Charlotte's heart lake has become a sea of fire, but it is distinct, dark red and red is divided, and both sides are fighting hard. In the heart of the lake but another weak and powerless figure, it is the soul of Charlotte. She is affected by the power of 2 kinds of mighty blood, the soul has been faint and vain, and it will soon be completely broken. The fiery phoenix whistling down, directly rushed into this world of flames, and filled the soul of Charlotte into the body, perfect protection. Ziwei? Are you? Charlotte recognized the unique spiritual fluctuations of Ziwei. What made her unbelievable was that Ziwei turned into a phoenix into the heart of the lake. To know that magicians cast spells to build spell models in their own heart lakes, mental release is a very dangerous and very cautious move. And this kind of soul leaving the body is even more a great adventure. If you are not careful, you may not be able to go back. What she did not expect was that Ziwei was really willing to do this for himself. To be continued. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Arcane Age author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 268. Charlotte, the blood of the devil in your body is the blood of Barlow's demon, a legendary level of demon blood. And then the newest is the blood of the Estanba family, the bloodline I book for you. How powerful, but all belong to your strength. The soul of Ziwei directly intersects with Charlotte. 7, 9, XS update is fast. Here is your territory, here is your kingdom, and you are the ruler of all power, you are their female king. You must suppress all the blood power, you can control them and use them for your own use. Barlow inflammation, burning is the horrible abyss of the magic fire, the dead bird, burning is the fire of life, and the fire is the real phoenix, burning is the fire of elements. 3 different types of flames used Charlotte's Heart Lake as a battlefield, and launched a super mixed battle. The heart of the Charlotte second ring magician couldn't bear the power of this level, and it collapsed completely in the first time. However, this is a godsend for Charlotte's promotion to the 3-ring magician. After several jumps in the soul level of Ziwei, he has reached the level of not being lost to the master of ordinary magic. This is the key to his ability to continuously display the 7-ring master magic without paying a great price. Although the blood of Barlow's blood and the blood of the immortal bird in front of them are all legendary blood, but Ziwei is not fighting the real Baloyan and the immortal. Although the fire of the fine pure element is not as good as the fire of the abyss and the fire of life, but the West has confidence to rely on the flaming element of the phoenix to smooth out the violent and unparalleled wave of Charlotte. Ping blood madness, reshape the heart of the lake. Charlotte, this is the best chance to keep your soul clear and to understand what is going to happen next. Charlotte tried her best to keep her soul clear, and she knew that as long as she could survive this crisis, she would welcome her new life and reborn. The phoenix circling over the fire of life and the fire of the abyss, it did not easily join the battle, but like a craftsman with a fine craft, trying to complete the reconstruction of the Heart Lake barrier. It is necessary to know that due to the break of the heart of Charlotte, the fire of the abyss and the fire of life are continually passing, which brings a great burden to Charlotte's body, and the energy level is also declining. Ziwei mixed the 2 very different flame battles, and has stopped boiling and burning, turning into a red color liquid state of the mixed material, using the element of the fire combing adjustment, make a uniform material, and then extend it to build a heartbreaking lake barrier. In the blood laboratory, the zero that communicates with Ziwei Fine is also constantly adjusting the injection speed of the blood of the immortal bird, and strives to keep the 2 flames in the soul of Charlotte in a balanced state. The fiery phoenix circled around 2 different flame energies, gradually building a new strong heart lake barrier on the periphery. This heart lake barrier consists of 2 kinds of flames, and the crossing fuses the energy essence of the 2 blood vessels to form a firm and stable structure. How? What do you realize? I have begun to understand the essence of these 2 kinds of blood energy. I feel that I can already integrate with them. Charlotte is the master of this heart lake, is where everything happens. She, with the help of Ziwei jumping out of the original situation at the end of the day, began to really control the heart of the lake, control the blood process. That's good. I will assist you next time, but everything is built by you. Remember, you are the master here. The soul of Ziwei and Charlotte cross-changed position. Ziwei began from the leader to the helper. Charlotte has already seen the actions of Ziwei before, and she also began to hold the origins of the 2 blood, so she can already do it herself to build the barriers to the heart of the lake, combing the blood energy. With the cooperation and assistance of Ziwei, after a long process, Charlotte's heart lake has finally been rebuilt. Her heart lake has been expanded by dozens of times, almost reaching the level that a normal five-ring magician should have. It all comes from the merits of two kinds of tyrannical blood. The fiery phoenix began to stretch its wings and entered the two flame energies that had begun to gradually weaken and bleak. As the long-term exciting battles exhausted most of the blood energy, the flame on the surface of Charlotte began to fade away, and everything was moving in the right direction. In this process, Charlotte gradually deepened the understanding and control of the two different blood energy, which has already stayed in her body and belongs to the treasure to be mined. Both blood vessels have been activated, and with Charlotte's advancement, she will be able to awaken the unique talents of the blood. You're done. When the soul of Ziwei has exceeded 3 magics, the phoenix of the soul has begun to show signs of instability. The soul crossed again and the soul of Ziwei returned. The fiery phoenix became a little dim, and once again soaked in the flame of the fiery land to recuperate. This experience has also had an unexpected harvest for Ziwei, that is, he has a very deep understanding of the abyss and the fire of life. With an in-depth study of these flame energies, perhaps one day, the phoenix in the heart lake can be fully presented and summoned to reality. Due to the two souls crossing, although the consumption was greatly reduced, the soul of Ziwei still suffered a little loss. He is now groggy and the whole person is awkward. However, it did not hurt the fundamentals. As long as you are resting and nursed back to health, you can recover slowly. Charlotte's body has been put into a huge nutrient life bin, although her soul level battle is over, but the body is still a mess. The horrible abyss of the magic fire burned too much, whether it is organs, bones or skin need to recultivate. But as long as the soul does not die, physical damage is not a problem for grasping the zero-end treatment of high-end living in the 35th century. After a period of sleep, Charlotte can naturally return to health status. It was another challenging adventure. For Ziwei, there was also some horror. Although as a great explorer, the adventure has been engraved in his soul and bone marrow as instinct, the pursuit of that second heartbeat, but Ziwei is still planning to develop a good and stable farm for some time. Although the process is extremely critical, the result is as good as ever. This time, Charlotte not only completely awakened the blood of the Beloyan in the body, but also mastered the blood of the immortal bird. As long as you can coordinate the conflict between two different bloodlines, Charlotte must have a very ambitious future. It can be said that Charlotte's road to legend has been paved, although there are still difficulties and obstacles, but already have the direction and goal of progress. That is to become a legendary sorcerer who controls the fire of the abyss and the fire of life. Q. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 269. The friends and partners around me, Natalia has been marching along the path set for her by the Count of Napoleon, and the third apostle, Freya, has become the inheritor of the golden scale, deep sea. The Naga female king of the plain. The latest chapter visit, point 79xs. And Yang is also advancing along the road of becoming a great arcane master. Ziwei firmly believes that Yang will have brilliant achievements in the future arcane age. Suddenly, 11 Wei's heart flashed a petite and well-behaved figure. Meryl. She is her first apostle. Like Yang, smart and eager to learn, single-handedly, the perfect arcane division seed. I haven't seen her for a long time. Ziwei made up his mind and must find an opportunity to talk to Natalia and the Wave Naval, and must not delay the development and achievements of Meryl on the road of the Arcans. On the 5th day after the birth of the sun, the harbor town ushered in a big ship, which is the Wild Heart of the Blue Wolf. This time, the Wild Heart was full of passengers. All the passengers are the dark spirit that originally escaped from the dark area, living in the volcanic hole, now the dark fine spirit tribe. Those who have been saved by Silvermoon are no longer afraid of the light, and can live freely in the sun. But in this way, a fine spirit tribe is very eye-catching. For the beautiful and skilled creatures of spirit, I don't know how many people will give birth to greed. This is also the reason why the 12th Precision Spirit female emperor soon launched the Fine Spiritual Retreat and moved almost all the fine spirits from the whole continent to the Yangju Island. Ziwei wants to shelter them, so moving their entire tribe to Violet is the best choice. In these few days, Ziwei built a village with a very artistic sexuality and beautiful sex in the small forest next to the Violet Fort in the southwest of Violet Island, as the home of the Dark Knight Fine Spirit tribe. Black Shanwei, Monica, Maurice, and Elaine were all dispatched. The whole Dark Knight Fine Spirit tribes all boarded the Violet Island in the Wild Heart. Most of them were covered in long black robes, covering up racial traits. The residents of the harbor town looked at them curiously, but they did not know their skill identity. Ziwei did not intend to disclose it for the time being. He arranged a large lock magic array around the Dark Knight's Fine Spirit village to isolate the reconnaissance and protect the secret of the Dark Knight's Fine Spirit village. Fantastically beautiful place, this is the home of my heart. Blacktail looked at the village in front of him, and the tears of the eyes fell with crystal clear eyes. The entire village is almost entirely constructed of wood. It is completely integrated with nature by mountains and rivers. Tree houses, fields, halls, shops, fountains, squares, and magic laboratories are all available. More than 100 people's Dark Knight Fine Spirit tribe. From then on, there is a perfect home to live and work in peace. What makes the Blacktail end surprise is that in the center of the village square, there is a huge metal statue with a height of 10 meters. A bright silver color unparalleled armor, the hands of the round moon double knife, silver color long hair to the ankle, silver and white eyes are clear as water, heroic and arrogant, the device is imposing, perfect reproduction of the dark-less female Elise Green style. Master Ziwei, thank you so much. Black Shanwei quickly smashed a sigh of relief to Ziwei. The darker female Elijah is the saint of their dark fine spirit. This is what I should do, Ziwei said with a smile. This statue is also his commemoration of the darker female. Finally, in the deepest part of the village where the mountains are hidden and the scenery is fascinated, there is an elegant and sacred white color hall. This is Silver Moon Woman's Shrine. Since you have already convinced the faith to pay the Silver Moon, and the Silver Moon Woman has already responded to your prayers, then the temple is a must, Ziwei said with emotion. Ziwei itself is a firm and unbelievers. He firmly believes that all fates are controlled by themselves. However, for the silver female who cares for himself all the time, his insistence on faith begins to shake for the first time. Although still unwilling to put the faith in the confession, Ziwei's goodwill for the silver female is almost full. Therefore, he used a lot of fine forces to build such a silver moon temple full of beauty, combining elegance and sacred perfection. Like the silver moon. It is God who gives us the hope of desperation for redemption. Blacktail quickly made a standard prayer gesture. Black-tailed female, you first allocate the room and start to settle down. 3 days later, it is the full moon night, summoning all the dark fine spirits and performing the Silver Moon Festival. On each full moon night, the believers of the Silver Moon Woman will gather at the Silver Moon Temple to dance against the moon and celebrate the ceremonies. It took only a few days for Christmas. Nearly half a month after the official start of school, many new and old apprentices took the friendship number to Violet Island, and the whole island was once again bustling. The captain of friendship sent a letter written by Baron Humphrey, who brought an inspiring good news. The respected Cavalier of West Villefrost tells you an inspiring good news, how the sorcerer made it in Paris, in Marseille, in Toulon, in Lyon, all the big cities started a hot sale, and has already reached the top of the sales list in just 1 month. According to incomplete statistics, in the 3 weeks we just started selling, more than 30,000 copies have been sold nationwide. The next sales channel has been fully rolled out. I will do this for the bookstores in every city in France. Believe me, the sales peak of this book has just begun. Selling 30,000 copies in less than a month, then selling 200,000 copies a year is almost a nail. Ziwei was overjoyed. He gave the captain of the second book Meditation and Heart Lake of the Magic Science book to the captain and entrusted him to Sir Humphrey. In the final edition of the book Meditation and Heart Lake, Ziwei uses a large number of plug-in paintings, vivid images, even those who are illiterate or literate can understand. Further reduce the door of magic into the door. How the magician is made has aroused the interest of the readers. Meditation and Heart Lake helps qualified teenagers to complete the magic into the door, and the last book of the Magic popular series reads, 1 month teaches you to become Magic Apprentice is the ultimate killer. Each book is marked with the name of Sylvester Frost, and his influence will spread to the entire material plane with the spread of these 3 books throughout the continent of Orient. The germination of the Arcane Age has been planted, will the harvest day be far behind? Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Du. Chapter 270. The Legrand Knights College is located at the intersection of 5th Avenue and Road in Patu, Huangdu. It was a college dedicated to the development of knights more than 300 years ago by the legendary knight of the Legrand family. 8 equals. Although the college is far less famous than the Royal Knights College and the National Knights College in Dongcheng District, it has its own unique style. Unlike the Royal Knights College, which only recruits prominent aristocratic sons and genius knight apprentices of ordinary nobility, it is different from the National Knights College for all the kingdoms who can afford to pay tuition and have the talent of becoming a knight. Roglang Knights College can be said to be the best choice for most of the lesser-known aristocratic children or aristocrats who are not seen in the family and who have no awakening blood. Unlike the big aristocrats, who have far more resources than ordinary people, unlike the diligence of ordinary people, there are many aristocratic children who have died in the Legrand Knights College, and these people are the ones who like the knight novels the most. They have super spending power, have a lot of idle time, and make fun of life. In addition to fighting, they are venting excess energy on women, and the knight novels undoubtedly fill their spiritual emptiness. Therese Vincent, the son of Viscount Vincent from the southern countryside of the French kingdom, is one of them. 8 equals dash 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 equals dash. In order to make the son who is the heir more versatile, instead of playing the village and the maid all day in the country, the Viscount Vincent spent a huge sum of money to buy the warhorse and armor sword, and sent his son to Huangdu. Lagrange Knights College in Lebanon, looking forward to the day when his son can truly become a talent. Therese has been in Pai for 3 years, and is still only a high-ranking knight apprentice. He has not mastered the vindictiveness and entered the official knight rank. However, over the years, the knight's novel has long been flooded, and it is always a routine, which has already made people feel bored. In this emptiness and lonely winter, Therese woke up from the hangover. Yesterday, he was drunk with some apprentices who were also the identity of a small aristocrat, and he was unconscious. I don't know who spit on the ground, and there was an unpleasant smell in the room. Therese put on his coat and walked out the door. The cold wind made Therese completely awake. He walked along the road of Parley Road, and the sky was bright, and the whole road was dead. Suddenly he found the Zijing bookstore in an alley opened. Therese quickly went in. The entire bookstore was very cold, except that he had only one young clerk sitting behind the counter. 8 equals. Man, have you recently got a new night novel? The one that sells faster, asked Therese. However, when he was unexpected, the clerk seemed to be stunned, but he did not hear him at all, but looked at it with a thick book. Hey, Therese gave birth to curiosity. He was much more visible in this scene. It was the performance that he had when he read a good book. Therese bent down and went forward, finally seeing the name on the spine in the hands of the clerk, how the magician made it. Magician, Therese was a little surprised. Is this a novel that the magician is the protagonist? You know that he can't read hundreds of night novels, but the magicians in the book are all supporting roles, even big villains. Therese gave birth to interest. He turned up on the bookshelf, and soon found a new book in the newly released book, How the Magician Made It. Picking up one of them, When the book started, Trees called a good. In order to reduce the cost of books, many profiteers use papers of very poor quality. However, each piece of paper in this book is very thick and feels very smooth, just like silk. Every word is exactly the same size, and the layout is neat and looks very comfortable. Trees closed the book again, and the beautiful illustration of the cover attracted his attention for the first time. Forgive the vulgarity of Trees, the first time he saw is the two beautiful women with different styles. Seeing the first sight of these two beautiful women, Trees has decided to buy this book. How much is this book? Trees patted the table and finally awakened the clerk from the wonderful story. 5 silver coins. 5 silver coins. Trees roughly flipped through it, but this book has hundreds of thousands of words. 5 silver coins are not expensive. He dropped 5 silver coins and took the book out of the Bohemia bookstore. Not wanting to go back to a smoky room, Trees took the book directly to the college, found a bench to sit down and began reading. At first he was still picky and scrutinized, but just turned over a page, he was completely intoxicated in the story. I forgot the time and forgot everything. He looked at it in obscurity. Until he couldn't see the words on the book, Trees lifted his head in confusion, and the sky was completely dark. His stomach screamed, and the whole day passed, and he actually didn't eat anything. Trees just saw the new genius Jessica going to the protagonist of the Fall family of the Far family. He had a fire in his heart and he felt the same for Far's experience. Because his fiancée Jacqueline, also the daughter of the Viscount of Bertrand in the southern countryside, lucky enough to pass the entrance exam into the Royal Knights College, is now a second-order knight. Counting, he has not met his fiancée for 3 months. Trees is not stupid, he knows that his fiancée is not bad. In the Cavaliers' Academy, where the wolf is too fleshy, every beautiful female knight is the object of countless people. I am afraid that the Viscount Bertrand has begun to consider how to decently remarriage his father. He hugged the book, walked out of the college, bought a roast chicken and a bottle of rum at the restaurant outside the college, and hurried back to his residence. The friends had already left, and the room was cleaned by the landlord's little daughter. He quickly took out the magic lamps. This was the new thing he bought at the Bonaparte Chamber of Commerce 2 months ago. It is said to be the product of the magic workshop. In the dim light, Trees was seriously red in bed, and he had completely brought into juvenile Far, as if Far's struggle was his own struggle, and Far's fate was his own destiny. He is happy for every growth of Far. He is excited by the mysterious and noble Nicole's affection, and he has accumulated all the emotions. He has killed the magical holy land of the Tower of the Law, and Jessica is righteous. In the first battle, it was released when it was finally won. To be continued. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 271. It's so cool. Every pore in the body is stretched, and all the depressions are all gone, and Air has finally achieved a generation of magic masters, and the happy life of Princess Nicole from the Holy Norman Empire, the Albrecht family. This is a book. Trees suddenly discovered that the night novels he had seen before were all rubbish. No matter whether it was from the plot, concept, writing or novelty, no one could compare with this. How the magician made it. The sky has been bright again, and Trees has not slept all day and night. However, his spirit was extremely exciting. The first time I saw it was too fast. Many details were not noticed. This time he turned the book back to the title page and tried to look at it from the beginning. Xavi Frost. Trees suddenly noticed the author's name, and he never paid attention to it before. Treesmer read the name again, he decided, as long as the book written by this person in the future, he will not fall, by it all. In this icy winter day, countless people in the entire French-speaking city purchased this book, How the Sorcerer Made It, and this book lived up to expectations. It successfully climbed the top 5 largest book dealers in the Kingdom of France bestseller sales list. The inspirational legend of Juvenile Far has begun to spread throughout the Kingdom of France. However, Ziwei, located in Violet Island on the Golden Sea, did not know this. One thing that made him happy was that Charlotte finally woke up from his sleep. Congratulations to Charlotte. The road to the legend has been paved, just waiting for you all the way. Ziwei smiled and opened his arms to Charlotte. Beauty, what happened today? I see you seem not too happy. It became a monster. Who is happy? Charlotte snorted and threw the mirror aside. The dark red magic wing behind her stretched, occupying almost half of the house. If it is fully extended, I am afraid that it is 10 meters long. On her forehead, she also gave birth to a dark red devil's horn. The original white skin is also completely red. However, these are not detrimental to her charm, and the body is filled with the beauty of a monster and powerful power. Reassured, you are still very beautiful, Ziwei comforted, gently kissed her red lips. But how can I go out and see people? Charlotte was helpless. You are now forced to change. As long as you can control the blood energy, you can fully shrink these signs back. Charlotte finally stabilized his mind and began to try to converge the energy in his blood. After all attempts, under her full control, the blood of Beloyan was finally silenced from the state of awakening. The devil's wing and the devil's horn slowly contracted into the body, and the skin began to recover. However, before Charlotte was relieved, the blood of the dead bird in her body suddenly awakened. Charlotte's long red hair suddenly burst into a dazzling light, as if to burn. Her body faintly began to energize, as if it had become a life built entirely by the fire of life. Ziwei, what should I do? Charlotte is about to cry. It seems that this is a test for you, dear. Come on, I believe that you can achieve the balance of 2 different bloodlines, Ziwei said with a smile. Leaving Charlotte alone to exercise blood control in the secret room, Ziwei walked out of the Violet Fort and came to the Dark Night Village. It's dark, the moon is scarce, it's the time of the Silver Moon Festival. During these 3 days, the Night Elves all studied the etiquette and prayers required by the Silver Moon Festival under the leadership of Black Shanwei. This Silver Moon Festival is the first festival of the new Night Elves, which is of great importance. Minor. Every Night Elf, regardless of men, women, and children, all bathed and changed clothes, replaced them with the most grand costumes, and went to the Silver Moon Temple with full energy. They chose to seat their seats. Ziwei found a seat in a corner, sitting quietly here, feeling the solemn atmosphere of this solemnity. The black scorpion appeared on the altar. She wore a pure white dress. The real Luna priest wore a monthly woven dress on formal occasions, while the moon cloth was only available in the moon well. The mysterious fabric of the silver moon. Everything can only be simplified because of jealousy. The only thing that is not discounted is a sincere heart. When you get the silver moon redemption, you can move out of the volcanic cave, live freely on the earth, enjoy the radiance of the sun and the silver moon. This night elf has a belief in Ms Yenyu to the extent of believers. Black Shanwei gently recited the sacred prayers, praised Ms Yenyu, praised the well of eternity, praised the elf Wang Ting, and the whole prayers were beautiful, like a song that was melodious. Although the prayers soon ended, they reverberated in the hearts of the people for a long time. Soon, it was time for the festival to dance to the moon. Headed by the Black Scorpion, Monica, Elaine, and the other 6 night elf girls put on neat white dance costumes, arranged in a neat queue, dancing under the bright silver moon, praying for the moon ends. The dance of the 9 night elf dancers is so beautiful, with sacredness in the elegance. It was the dance that the dark girl Elise jumped when she prayed for the silver moon redemption in the city of Wanjiao. 11 Wei stood quietly and admired this beautiful dance, but his thoughts flew into the scene. Just then, he suddenly looked up, and the silver moon lit up again. The glory of the road hangs down like silk, and it is shrouded in the 9 night elf girls who danced against the moon, shrouded in all the night elves, and shines through the entire dark night village. Ms Yenyu has lowered her grace. The night elves have fallen to the ground prey to the moon, thank you Ms Yenyu's grace. 9 dancers bathe in the sacred moonlight, their dances are more and more light, more sacred, as if to use life to jump through this dance, showing the devout faith in the silver moon. Silver moon once again lowered ends. The 9 dancers shared God's grace, and Black Shanwei got nearly half of God's grace. The bright moonlight illuminates her body, her face is sacred, and she is so holy at this moment. Zai Wei was acutely aware that the soul level of Black Shanwei is rising. She was originally the 6th order peak priest and warrior of Xinwu, and the grace of the silver moon came directly to the level of her soul. At this moment, the Black Shanwei was promoted to become a master priest of the moon god. To be continued. Arcane Age author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 272. The moonlight of the watery water lingers on her body, and finally condenses into a clear spring, suspended in the palm of her hand. After a long time, in the attention of all the night elves, the black scorpion finally opened his eyes, and a gentle and sacred light shone. Black Shanwei held this clear spring in both hands, and the whole body was covered with respect, and the clear spring was scattered on the earth. The clear spring fell on the ground, but did not melt into the soil, but spread on the ground, and soon formed a pool of clear spring water. Zai Wei has an epiphany in his heart, this is the moon well. With the Luna priest and the moon well, this night elf tribe was truly included in the faith system of Ms Yenyu. The grace that every night elf gets is no different, because this grace is life. The elves have an average lifespan of 1,000 years. After the dark elves abandoned their faith, Ms Yenyu took back her grace, so their lifespan was shortened to 300 years. However, just the grace of the Silver Moon Festival today is enough to make every night elf at least 100 years old. Master Morris had already entered the leap year, but at this moment the vitality of life once again bloomed on him, the skin was smooth again, and the bones were again dense. He has become a middle-aged person. 8 dancers, such as Monica and Elaine, received more than the ordinary night elves. They have become trainee priests and have the qualification to learn and master the silver moon magic. The grace of the black scorpion is undoubtedly the most brilliant. She broke through the relationship of the masters and directly proved the master's certificate. This is the embodiment of the power of a true god. Because of you can stay clear. Zai Wei did not believe in Yunyu, so he did not get silver moon ends in the silver moon festival. However, Zai Wei did not repent or envy. He further strengthened his belief that he would go all the way on the road of the Arcanist. He would once again be on the top, and then Ms Yenyu would like to drink. The Sicilian raiders have been completed, and the new order in Palermo has been established by Zai Wei. The harvest of the last adventure is extremely rich. But the first thing to do is to enroll in Palermo, and the tower he built in Palermo also needs to arrange a person to stay for a long time. Zai Wei has already had a target candidate in his heart. Zai Wei instructor, are you looking for me? In the president's office of the Violet Academy, Ed asked a little uneasy. He has made rapid progress in recent times. Now he has been full of magic and reached the peak of the magic apprentice. Unfortunately, he exchanged a magical scouring agent with the arcane point, but he did not succeed in promotion. I built a tower in the chaotic city of Palermo. I need someone to go there to host the Magic Guild. The main job now is to select a boy who is qualified to learn magic and send it to Violet Island to study. Zai Wei said faintly, this work needs to be stationed for a long time, away from Violet Island, the conditions are also difficult, I wonder if you are interested. Ed bites his teeth, 11-way mentor, I can do it. Very good, you are ready, there will be a sea boat coming in 3 days, you will take office. This is the general information of Palermo, you can refer to it. The first task I gave you is to complete the first in 10 days. The secondary enrollment test work, select qualified apprentices, and rush to the college entrance ceremony of the semester. Ziwei handed a notebook to Aide. Ziwei tutor, I will try my best. I won't be guilty of anyone who contributes to the violet. I will give you 100 arcane points as a reward, you can use it during this time. The monthly gratuity for working in Palermo is 20 arcane points. If you have an outstanding apprenticeship, you will receive an extra bonus. You can take 4 days off each month or return to Violet Island. Ziwei said all the conditions. Aide Changshu breathed, he thought he was sent, but now I found this is a very good job. Whether it is a reward of 100 arcane points or a monthly salary of 20 arcane points is very high. And as long as the students who are recruited have outstanding performance, there are extra rewards. Although you need to stay away from Violet Island, you are nothing here, and at least Palermo is also a supervisor. How to count is earned. As long as you have enough arcane points, you can redeem a variety of powerful spells and potions, and the speed of promotion in the future may not be as good as staying in Violet. With 100 arcane points, Ida quickly used the magical pharmacy to promote the official magician and redeemed 3 very useful ones. Ida left the island of Violet and smugly set foot on the chaotic city of Palermo. Seaboat. And Elaine is also on this ship. She will take over the identity of Ms. Black Shanwei and become the new boss of the Intoxicated Life Hotel. Once the casino dealer, Miss Amy also came to Violet Island with the boat, where she had a new identity, the Maid of Violetburg. Novo's Violet Fort has never had a real servant. Many things need to be done by Siv and Charlotte, so Charlotte has long wanted to get a few maids. Her wish soon came true, and several lively and beautiful girls soon appeared in the Violet Fort. They have purple-red skin, slender pointed ears, and they are some of the night elves with a good magical talent. The magical talent of the night elves is much higher than that of humans, so although their magical talents are only good, compared with humans, they have reached the point of talent. Because Ziwei is temporarily reluctant to disclose the information of the night elves, they are all sent to the Maid of Violet Fortress by Ms. Black Shanwei, and learn magic here. Master Morris simply agreed to Ziwei as the magician of the Violet Academy. He is a 5-ring high-level magician, mainly studying the summoning school, minor protection school. He recovered the vitality of his magical road that had been stagnant, and finally saw a glimmer of light. Ziwei opened the silver spell list privilege for him, and rewarded him with 5,000 Empire points in one lump sum American Samoa, a hiring fee for him as a mentor. Now the highest level of spells in the West spell list has reached the 7th ring master. 10 composite element spells stay here quietly, and each spell requires a full 10,000 arcane points to redeem. It was Ziwei who easily defeated and eventually eliminated the 10 spells of the vampire Earl Sorrows in the big arena. In the past few days, all of Morris's energy has been invested in the Western Ways spell list. The dazzling spells have made him feel very excited, but although the 5,000 arcane points are already very much, they can only be exchanged for 5 rings. Spells are not enough to redeem 2 6-ring spells. To be continued. Arcane Age author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 273. Suddenly, Morris saw a redemption message in other categories. __. Death sacrifice ceremony. Experience the feeling of death by simulating the severance of life, awakening special ability on the edge of life and death, being more sensitive to soul fluctuations, and enhancing one's mental strength. Redemption requirements: 4-ring magician, arcane point, 1000. For the magician who has entered the high level, any information about the spirit and soul is very precious. Because the conditions required to be promoted to the Master of Magic are so harsh, every point of accumulation is the cornerstone of the Master's certificate in the future. Morris chose not to hesitate to redeem the ceremony. At the moment of his exchange, Ziwei learned the news through Zero. Through the death ceremony, Ziwei was able to enter the endless river of sorrow, and the soul was honed into a dream soul, which laid a good foundation for the promotion of the magician and the feedback of the true magic eye. Therefore, this death memorial ceremony is dangerous, but it is also very valuable. As a senior 5-ring magician, Master Morris has a very strong accumulation. As long as he does not sacrifice more than the standard sacrifices, the soul directly enters the endless river, so the danger of the death ceremony is not great. A secret message appeared in Morris's mind. He immediately judged that the death ceremony was dangerous, but the reward after the success was very rich. He is only the last point from the 6-ring magician. Perhaps you can use this death ritual ceremony to be promoted directly into a 6-ring magician. Morris made ample preparations and went to find the black iris. __8 ====. At the moment when Black Shanwei became a master priest, a large number of silver moon gods were directly instilled in her mind. Therefore, she has been studying and mastering these silver moon gods during this time. There is a 5-ring silver moon god, the wall of the soul. You can build a wall of soul around your soul in a short time to help you resist the dangers that may occur. Black Iris retrieved all of his silver moon magic, Morris said. That's good. Morris seems to be 20 years younger. It seems that the promotion of the 6th ring is promising. The promotion of Morris is also very valuable for Ziwei itself. Ziwei also has his own understanding of how to get the master's certificate. In the Battle of the Great Athletics in Palermo, Ziwei eloquently practiced all the ideas in reality, and his understanding of elemental spells reached a new peak at that moment. If you go down this road, the master's certificate will eventually be a harvest. However, Ziwei is not satisfied with moving on the path of elemental spells. 8 ====. He wants to be truly versatile. With the true magical eye-breaking ability, with 0 resolution and storage and memory, Ziwei firmly believes that he can master the essence of several colleges and become a human flesh book. And Western's spell list will eventually include all the spells that have appeared in the whole world. This is the ambition of Ziwei and the direction of his efforts. Then the speed of the promotion master will be pressed, and slowly, the day when all the spells of all schools are mastered, the master's certificate is no longer a problem. After 5 days of preparation, the Black Scorpion practiced the Wall of Soul and Morris finally began the death ceremony. As soon as the night passed, Morris woke up from the dead, and a happy color emerged from his face. His mental strength has jumped to a level. Congratulations to Master Morris for promotion to the 6th ring, 11 Wei said with a smile. Inspired by Maurice Mage, he has a new idea for the promotion of the 6th ring. That is the spiritual extension in the Star Shuttle. The spirit is turned into a silk thread, through the space barrier, and it is fun to fish in the multifaceted plane. How happy! Fishing is not a fish, but a rare plane. The spirit is extended to the extreme, and the void is placed outside. This process is very dangerous for most of the 6-ring magicians, so many magicians will only choose to use the astral shuttle spells if they have obtained the master's certificate. However, the soul of Ziwei has been refined into a dream soul in the endless river of sorrow. The stability of mental power has been enhanced to the extreme, and the danger is greatly reduced. And the tempering in this process will also greatly increase his mental strength. As long as the accumulation of time is over, the promotion of the 6-ring magician will be a matter of course. I also want to thank Master Ziwei. Master Morris smiled brilliantly. Ms. Black Shanwei is also very happy. Ms. Morris, as her elder, almost watched her grow up. It wouldn't take long for Maurice to grow old, but now he has 100 years of life and has been promoted to the next level. And follow the magical Ziwei Master, there may be opportunities to promote the Magic Master in the future. Destiny has completely embarked on a completely different path, all thanks to the young and over-excellent Ziwei Master. The Black Scorpion heart is full of gratitude, but she has now become a true master powerhouse. Both the spiritual cultivation and the soul level have been greatly improved. The temperament naturally changes, and the whole person looks sacred and friendly. People don't consciously give birth to emotions that are willing to be close to trust. In a twinkling of an eye, the sacred calendar has passed in 1786 and came to the first month of 1787, and the opening ceremony of the new semester of the Violet Academy is about to be held. Another sea boat docked in the harbor town. Ed first jumped down, and he was thinner and looked a lot better. Behind him is a dozen teenage girls with baggage and hope and excitement in their eyes, just the apprentices who have just been selected in the chaotic city of Palermo. When he arrived in Palermo, Ade discovered that Ziwei had such a lofty position there. He was just a small ring mage, but those of the Palermo executives, such as the Fortune Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Weiss, Mr. Corleone, and his wife, Ms. Heidi, who are hungry on the sea, and Ms. Elon, who is fascinated by life, everyone is very kind to him, almost responsive. The magic apprentice inspection and enrollment work in Palermo was very smooth. In just 3 days, hundreds of young girls who were willing to be tested were selected and the 18 qualified people were selected. With the continuous development of the Violet Academy, the standards for enrollment are constantly improving. The worst qualifications of the 18 qualified students are similar to those of Ed. There is also an apprentice who has a full score of Earth elements. I don't know if this is an excellent performance. Good job. Ed, the vice president of the Violet Academy, Yang, said on the shoulder of Ade, the president of Ziwei is very happy, he will see you alone, and there will be extra reward for you. Haha, I just tried my best. Ed had a hand on his hair, and he didn't know what to say. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 274. Ade, you have done a very good job, and completed the enrollment test in such a short period of time. The qualifications of the freshmen are very good. Bixawu's pinyin, those who work hard should be rewarded, and this is me. Give you a reward. Still in the principal's room, Ziwei pushed a ring volley into Ade's hands. This is a beautifully carved purple gemstone set on a gold base. The ring is inlaid with a violet emblem, which is definitely a masterpiece of art. This is a space ring. It can hold about 20 cubic feet, 20 cubic feet less than 1 cubic meter. Ziwei increasingly hates the original weights and measures. His new textbook has been compiled, this semester will be invested use. Space ring, Ed is a bit aggressive, he guessed there will be rewards, but did not expect such a valuable reward. Even small space storage equipment is a very expensive magical thing. And 20 cubic feet is already very big. He was just invited by Mr. Chavez to participate in a high-end auction held by the Fortune Chamber of Commerce. At the auction, a space ring of only 15 cubic feet was used to produce a high price of 8,000 gold coins. Wouldn't it mean that this ring is worth $1 million? Thank you, President Ziwei. Ade was grateful for the zero, and quickly took the ring seriously. I have a difficult task to hand over to you. Sylvester paused. There is now a printing machine in the ring that can print books. You can do it according to the operating instructions. I need you in the chaotic city of Palermo. Print and sell the book How the Wizards Are Made, open the sales channel, and then sell the book Meditation and Heart Lake. Be sure to promote the influence of this book as much as possible. President Ziwei, I understand. Iden nodded. You want to make the whole Palermo the source of our college as much as possible. I have already seen this during the enrollment process. Most of the hundreds of people know each other, and almost all of them are the top controversial people in Palermo. They monopolize this enrollment resource. Very good. You have a keen insight. Education is a resource, and magic education will directly generate powerful power. The superiors will always try to monopolize this channel and block the road of the people at the bottom. This is also what I want. Publishing the Magic Popular series of reading materials, truly transforming magic from only a small number of superiors to learning, as long as there is talent and perseverance to learn. One day, magic will be fully popular throughout the Orient continent. One belongs to the arcane. The age is coming. Zai Wei's hands clasped together, and if the real eyes stared at Ida, this is a great ideal and career, and it takes countless people to join in it to complete, so I need like-minded companions to fight side by side, and Ed, you are one of them. Zai Wei instructor, I understand your great ambition. Although Ed is only a small ring mage, but I am willing to fight for this sacred ideal for life. Ed stood straight and his chest stood tall. This is a daunting task and challenge. You will be drawn, hostile, and perhaps open-minded people trying to assassinate or control you. But Ed, I hope you don't forget, all status and rights are eye-catching. Smoke clouds, the achievements on the magical path are fundamental. I will keep in mind your advice from President Zai Wei. Ed only feels that he is full of pride and enthusiasm, and he has become a high-spirited person. Very good. I am here today. I remember to go after the opening ceremony and gather together with old friends, Zai Wei said with a smile. Ed had a deep embarrassment, and he got up and left the principal's room. The space ring is just completed by Zai Wei, and the spiritual power is extended. It is easy to find such a small and closed half-plane on the periphery of the main material plane where the mainland is located. Just connect the space marker on the magical object. You can complete the production of a space ring. Of course, the so-called simplicity is that the soul has already achieved the dream of a star, and the westward is well known to the astral shuttle. What 11 Wei said to Ed is not simply a chicken soup, which is what he thinks. Although the entire Violet Academy is still available, their power is not to be underestimated. Ed is currently the most suitable person to stay in Palermo. Compared to Fei Wei's humor, compared to Linden's calm and reliable, Ed is the most urban one. He can bend and stretch, although the talent in the magical path is not very good, but the future achievements will not be worse. With the enrollment of a new group of students, the students of the Violet Academy finally broke through 100 people. In the near future, with the popularity of 3 magical readings throughout the Orient continent, there will be a large number of talented young people coming to the Violet College to study. And a few years later, after a few decades, when these students really grow up, the historical torrent of the arcane era will be so vast that it will be unstoppable and unstoppable. Lista walked through the black magical robe with the violet logo in the harbor town, with a smile like a spring breeze on his face, and his eyes swept through every curious and timid new apprentice. He appeared here, naturally to welcome new students to school. This is the task of the college, to guide the students to enter the school, but also have the point of the arcane as a reward. Lista, who has been promoted to become a formal magician on the last day of the sacred calendar in 1786, does not see these 3 or 5 arcane points. He is interested in the new apprentice itself. Will it be gentle and beautiful, beautiful girl? It doesn't require the perfection of Charlotte's mentor, as long as there is half the beauty of Charlotte's mentor. My standard is not high. Unfortunately, he was a little disappointed. Most of the new apprentices from Corsica and from Palermo were boys. There were very few girls, and they were all wrapped in heavy coats. There was no attraction at all. Suddenly, Lista's eyes lit up and he saw a pleasing landscape. The 2 ladies walked hand in hand in the harbor town, a long brown hair floating behind them, looking very gentle and book-like, the other with short hair, but eyebrows, fair skin. When Runruyu, are beautiful women above the standard. Almost 70% of Charlotte's mentor. You must know that these 2 little beautiful people don't look too old, like daisies. The style is not completely blooming. To be continued. This book is from Arcane Age. Author, Yulin Dudu. Chapter 275. Do you want to be a freshman? Lista made the most gentleman's action and put on the most kind smile. Baixawas Pinyin. Oh, yes, "We are from the chaotic city of Palermo," the short-haired girl responded politely, the voice with the rare texture of the girls. "It is really nice. I am Lista, your seniors. Haven't gone through the admission process yet? I can take you there." Lista is very happy. "We just plan to enroll in the school, or a mess." "Thank you," the senior, short-haired girls do not seem to be a shy person. "Follow me." The Violet Academy has only just been created last year, but it is booming. The president and several instructors of Zyway are doing their utmost to train the students. In just half a year, they have cultivated 9 formal magics. Division. The first year of the Violet Academy's tuition is 100 gold coins. This price is also the cheapest in the entire Kingdom of France, and more importantly, if you don't have the money, you can sign a talent training program with the college agreement. The college pays the tuition fee first. You can enter the school for free, then you need to work for the Zyway adults after graduation, and pay the tuition fee with the reward. The 3 quietly marched on the road from the town to the Violet Academy, a straight and wide asphalt road with idyllic scenery on both sides. Lista looked at the 2 people who seemed to have completely listened to their own words. The short-haired girl looked at herself with admiration and seemed to want to express the meaning of "You are so powerful." He proudly raised his left hand, the magic of the blue wind surrounded by the fingertips. A blue-green light suddenly appeared at the feet of short-haired girls. 2 consecutive blasts, the speed of the 3 people suddenly increased. "Is this?" The short-haired girl was surprised to see the blue blast that was wrapped around her feet. "This is a strong zero-ring spell, Blast, the magician of the Westway president at the magic apprentice stage. Very practical, as long as you become a high-level magic apprentice can learn," Lista introduced. "Violet Academy management is not so strict, but every apprentice has a lot of learning pressure and motivation is very good. The college has set up scholarships since this semester. Third-class scholarships can be reduced by half of the tuition fees, second-class scholarships are free, first-class scholarships are not only free tuition fees, but also rewards for arcane points, the Zyway scholarship named after the president of Zyway. As long as you can get the Zyway scholarship, you can become a key student of the entire college, and even have the opportunity to become a pro-disciple of the president of Zyway." Lista's face was a little fascinating. "You came from Palermo, maybe you heard the wind. Just last month, President Zyway defeated a master of the masters in the big arena. He is probably already is a magician. With more and more students, the Violet Academy is on the right track. Zyway has set up scholarships for students in the college. In the future, with the increase in the number of students and the start of classes at the university, the awards will be awarded. There will be more and more. The biggest role of these scholarships is to motivate students to study hard and work hard. The Zyway Scholarship is a special award for Zyway to select the arcane masters from all the apprentices of the Violet Academy. It sounds really amazing. I don't know if you are qualified to take this Zyway award," asked the short-haired girl if she thought thoughtfully. "Ha ha ha, although I am a good student, I am currently struggling with the first-class scholarship." Lista touched her hair. "What is that? Beautiful and colorful. Isn't it winter? Why are there so many blooming flowers and green plants?" The short-haired girl's gaze was suddenly attracted by the garden under the glass on the side of the road. "That is the Arcane Garden. The garden built by President Zyway specializes in the cultivation of various magical plants and herbs. The ecosystem here is completely independent of the outside world. No matter the changing seasons, it can cultivate a large variety of magical plants. Our magician, many of the medicines needed are made from these magical plants," Lista explained. "I am familiar with the manager of the Arcane Garden, Master Linden. If the 2 are interested, I will wait for you after entering school, can arrange for you to practice in the Arcane Garden." "Thank you, Lista seniors," the short-haired girl responded, but it was a pity that the gentle girl with long brown hair didn't say a word on her way, and her head was low and seemed to be too shy. The 2 hands are tightly pulled together, it seems to be a good sister. Then, is the short-haired girl who is active and cheerful, or is it a long-haired girl who is shy and gentle? Anyway, the beautiful girl above the standard, this is really a happy worry. 3 months ago, it was a desolate land, you see it all, including the beautiful harbor town, the Violet Academy, and the Violet Fort on the other side of the island. Powerful magic was built in a short time. The president of Zyway once told us that magic is power. I hope that after 2 enrollment, I can study hard and become a true magician as soon as possible. I am waiting for you in front. Seeing the school building of Violet College has appeared in front of us. The tower is faintly loaded. Thank you, Lista, the senior. The short-haired girl nodded and looked sincere. Do you see the lemon-yellow building in front? That is our teaching building. The place to sign up is in the reception room on the first floor. You can apply for registration by simply registering your name and the student number at the time of enrollment testing. The procedure is over, Lista stopped. I won't go in. I don't know if I can be lucky enough to know your name. Lista, you are too polite. Call me Jude. It is my sister, Esmeralda. Thank you for your help, then we will report it. De politely responded. That is actually a pair of sisters. These beautiful women, I am afraid that there has been no suspense to take the girl's face value. Lista's heart suddenly began to speed up, and he suddenly got a little excited. I'm here waiting for you, go sign up. Under the sun's reflection, he is handsome, and he thinks that he should leave a good impression on the 2 schoolgirls. To know that the Violet Academy is now a lot of wolves, Faraway is a color embryo, and Lyndon is also a boring sorrow. Both of them are now mixed into a mentor and a manager. Naturally, they have an advantage over themselves. And the headmaster 11 Wei and the vice president Yang have crushed themselves from the appearance, strength, and temperament, and the pressure is great. Although Lista is a noble family, he has not considered inheriting the small manor on the outskirts of Ayacho. His future must be in Violet. Then prepare in advance, find a like-minded, gentle, and lovely female magician to be his future wife. This is a big event related to the latter half of happiness. To be continued.